The child stands at the foot of the bed. 3 years old, silver blonde curls catching moonlight through floor-to-ceiling windows. Striped pajamas 2 sizes too big, sleeves covering small hands that clutch a worn yellow blanket. The man in the bed doesn't move. Rowan Blackwell lies perfectly still beneath sheets that cost more than most people earn in a month. His chest rises, falls, rises again. The Rolex on the nightstand reads 2:47 a.m. Security cameras blink red in the hallway outside. Motion sensors should have triggered. Alarms should have sounded. Nothing happened. The child takes 1 step closer. Rowan's eyelids don't flutter. His breathing stays even. But his mind runs calculations faster than the stock tickers that made him a billionaire before 40. Every muscle in his body knows exactly where the child stands, exactly how the mattress will shift when small feet try to climb up, exactly how many seconds until. Hi viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is. The estate sprawls across 23 acres of Connecticut woodland, 16 bedrooms, security systems that cost more than the house itself, staff quarters separated by marble hallways and doors that lock from the inside, rules, protocols, boundaries that keep the powerful safe from everyone else. The child shouldn't be here. 3 months ago, the night staff expanded. A new hire, Elio Cross, 26, Omega, visibly pregnant, ran from something in Boston that left shadows in his eyes and tremors in his hands when anyone spoke too loud. He cleaned quietly, efficiently, wore oversized sweaters even in summer, never asked questions, never caused problems. Until recently. Small things started breaking, not objects, patterns. The kitchen staff found juice boxes in the West Wing pantry. Someone left tiny footprints on the marble floor near the library. Security footage showed gaps, moments where cameras recorded nothing but static for exactly 47 seconds, then normal again. Rowan noticed. He always noticed. The child climbs onto the bed now. Knees sink into fabric that costs $6,000 per set. The mattress dips. Rowan's instincts scream to open his eyes, to demand answers, to call security and end whatever test this has become. He doesn't move. The child crawls forward, stops near Rowan's shoulder, breathing fast, nervous. Small hands grip the yellow blanket tighter. Moonlight paints half the room silver, the other half stays dark. Outside, wind moves through trees that have stood here longer than the house, longer than Rowan's money, longer than any of this mattered. Silence stretches. The child leans closer, studies Rowan's face with eyes too old for someone so young. Blue eyes, same shade as the Omega who cleans the third-floor bathrooms and pretends not to exist. Then the child does something impossible. He spreads the yellow blanket over Rowan's chest. Not random, not careless, deliberate, careful, the way someone tucks in a person they're afraid might get cold. Small hands smooth the fabric, pat it down gently, making sure it covers enough, making sure it stays. Rowan's breath almost breaks. The child whispers, voice shaking but determined. "Don't be scared, Daddy says big people get tired too." Something cracks inside Rowan's chest. Clean, painful, the kind of break that doesn't heal the same way twice. He's built empires, destroyed competitors, made grown men beg for mercy in boardrooms from New York to Miami. He's never been afraid of anything. Until now. Until this child looked at him like power doesn't matter, like being strong means admitting you're weak. Footsteps rush down the hallway. "Pookie, no, babies, where are you?" Elio's voice, panic, terror, the sound of someone who knows what happens when Omegas break rules in houses owned by alphas who don't forgive mistakes. The door opens. Elio freezes, one hand pressed to the curve of his pregnant stomach, the other reaching for his son, face drained of color, eyes wide, breath coming in short gasps. I'm so sorry, he couldn't sleep and I thought I'll take him right now, please don't." Rowan opens his eyes. Elio goes completely still. The kind of still that prey goes when predators decide whether to strike, every muscle locked, every instinct screaming run but knowing running makes it worse. His hand trembles against his stomach, protecting, always protecting. Rowan sits up slowly. The yellow blanket slides down his chest, pools in his lap. He looks at the child, at Pookie, at this 3-year-old who just tucked in a man who could destroy his entire family with one phone call. Then Rowan looks at Elio. And says nothing. The silence fills the room like water rising. Elio's breathing gets faster. Tears build in his eyes but don't fall yet. He knows better. Crying makes alphas angry. showing weakness makes them cruel. He learned that lesson already, learned it in Boston, learned it from whoever put that second child in his belly and then disappeared. Pookie doesn't understand. He smiles, proud, like he just did something good. I helped, the child says, like Daddy helps me. Rowan's jaw tightens. Outside, the wind stops. Trees go still. Even the house seems to hold its breath, waiting, watching, wondering what happens next. Rowan stands. Elio flinches. But Rowan doesn't move toward them. He walks to the window instead, looks out at darkness and trees and land he owns but will never really control. His reflection stares back. Alpha, billionaire, alone. Take him back to bed, Rowan says, voice quiet, controlled. We'll talk tomorrow. Not a question, not a request. A promise. Elio scoops Pookie into his arms. The child giggles, wraps small arms around his father's neck, doesn't see the fear on Elio's face, doesn't understand that tomorrow might mean packing, might mean leaving, might mean starting over again somewhere new. They leave. The door clicks shut. Rowan stands alone in the dark. The yellow blanket still lies on his bed. He picks it up. Worn fabric, soft from too many washes, smells like lavender detergent and something else, something innocent, something that doesn't exist in his world. He folds it carefully. And for the first time in 15 years, Rowan Blackwell doesn't know what to do next. Morning breaks over the estate like glass shattering. Rowan skips his 5 a.m. workout, skips the call with Tokyo Markets, sits in his office instead, staring at a folder he shouldn't have requested. Security pulled it at 3:47 a.m. Elio Cross, employment file, background check, references from the Boston Hotel off Newbury Street. Everything looks perfect. Too perfect. The espresso machine hisses in the corner. Italian, costs more than Elio makes in 6 months. Rowan doesn't touch it. His hands rest flat on the mahogany desk. Desk his grandfather bought in 1962. Same desk where 3 generations of Blackwell men built fortunes that politicians envied and criminals feared. The file contains exactly what it should. Work history, clean record, medical clearance despite the pregnancy, emergency contact listed as none, no family, no references beyond the hotel manager who wrote 3 sentences praising reliability and discretion. Nothing explains the child. Pookie isn't mentioned anywhere, not in the application, not in the initial interview notes, not in the background check that cost $12,000 and should have found everything. Someone hid him. Or someone didn't ask. Rowan's phone buzzes, text from Marcus, head of security, former Marine, built like he still fights wars. Found the gap, cameras loop every night. Same time, 2:43 to 2:51 a.m., 8 minutes. Rowan types back. How long? 11 weeks. 11 weeks since 2 weeks after Elio started, since someone figured out the security rotation, since someone learned exactly when cameras reset and motion sensors recalibrate, since someone started moving through this house like they owned it. An Omega and a 3-year-old. Impossible. Rowan stands, walks to the window. The estate looks flawless from here. Manicured gardens, stone pathways, fountain imported from France in 1983. Everything designed to show power, to prove worth, to remind visitors that Blackwell money doesn't just buy things, it builds legacies. His phone buzzes again. Want me to confront him? Rowan stares at the message. Confront. The word tastes wrong, like accusing someone of breathing, like punishing survival. He doesn't respond. Downstairs, staff morning routines run like clockwork. Cook staff arrived at 4:30, housekeeping at 5:00, groundskeepers at 5:30. Everyone has a schedule, a place, a purpose. The estate functions because everyone knows their role, because rules exist, because boundaries protect everyone. Except they don't. It's not anymore. Rowan leaves his office, takes the west staircase. Marble imported from Italy. Each step cost $8,000. He doesn't use the main stairs. Doesn't want staff asking why the alpha who owns everything suddenly moves through his own house, like he's looking for something he lost. 3rd floor, East Wing, where the night staff quarters sit behind doors that look identical to everywhere else but mean something different, where omegas and betas who clean and cook and maintain all sleep during daylight hours, where Elio should be sleeping now. Rowan stops outside room 3E. He raises his hand to knock. Stops. This is insane. He owns this house, owns the land, owns the contracts that put Elio here. He doesn't need permission to demand answers, doesn't need to stand in his own hallway wondering if knocking makes him weak. He knocks anyway. Silence. Then movement, soft footsteps. The door opens 3 inches, chain lock still attached. Elio's face appears in the gap, hair messy from sleep, eyes red, the kind of red that comes from crying until exhaustion wins. Sir, his voice sounds hollow, already defeated. I was going to come find you. I have my things packed. I can be gone by noon. I just need to call someone to pick us up. Rowan's chest tightens. I didn't tell you to leave. You said we'd talk, that means. Elio's voice breaks. He swallows, tries again. That means I broke the rules. That means you don't want us here. I said we'd talk. Same thing. The chain lock stays on. Elio's hand grips it like a lifeline, like the only thing between him and something terrible. His other hand rests on his stomach, always protecting, even now, even when he thinks he's already lost. Rowan speaks carefully, each word chosen, measured. How long has your son been wandering the house at night? Elio closes his eyes. 2 months, maybe more. He has nightmares, about before, about the place we left. He says the big house feels safer because nobody yells here. I try to keep him in the room, but he's 3 and he doesn't understand locks yet and I can't. He stops, breathes. I can't watch him every second when I'm working. The cameras loop, 8 minutes every night, same time. Elio's face goes pale. I don't know anything about that. Someone does. Not me, I swear. I clean bathrooms. I don't touch security systems. I don't even know where they are. Truth, Rowan hears it, sees it in the way Elio's pulse jumps in his throat, in the way his hand shakes against the chain lock. Then who? Rowan asks. I don't know. Your son goes missing for 8 minutes every night, and you don't know where. He comes back. Elio's voice gets smaller. He always comes back. He crawls into bed and tells me about the big man who's nice even when he's sleeping, about the pretty watch, about the picture on the table. His eyes meet Rowan's. I didn't know he meant you until last night. The big man who's nice even when he's sleeping. Rowan processes this, rewrites the last 11 weeks, every night, the child escaping, finding his room, watching him sleep, deciding he's safe. Why my room? Rowan asks. I don't know. Why not the library, the kitchen, somewhere closer? I don't know. Tears fall now. Elio doesn't wipe them. He's 3. He doesn't explain things. He just feels safe places and goes there. I'm sorry. I know that's not good enough. I know you need better answers, but I don't have them. Rowan should fire him, should call Marcus, should have them both escorted off the property before lunch, should protect his house, his privacy, his control. He doesn't. Unlock the door, Rowan says. What? The chain, take it off. Elio's hand trembles. Why? Because we're not having this conversation through a 3-inch gap. You're going to fire me in person. I'm going to talk, you're going to listen, then we'll decide what happens next. Elio stares at him, fear and confusion and something else, something that looks like hope but knows better than to trust it. He unhooks the chain, opens the door fully. The room is tiny, single bed, small dresser, window that overlooks the north garden, clean, organized, everything folded, everything put away, except for one corner where a blanket fort sits half-collapsed, where a 3-year-old built safety out of sheets and pillows. Pookie sleeps inside it now, curled up, yellow blanket nowhere in sight. Because he gave it to Rowan. Rowan's jaw tightens. Elio stands in the doorway, waiting, pregnant belly obvious now without the oversized sweater. 6 months at least, maybe 7, carrying a child that some alpha put there and then abandoned, raising another child who sneaks through mansions at night looking for someone who won't hurt him. I'm not firing you, Rowan says. Elio blinks. What? You're being moved, different room. Ground floor, near the sunlit wing, Maury space, private bathroom, closer to the kitchen. I don't understand. You're also off night rotation, day shift only, light duties, no lifting, no climbing ladders, no scrubbing floors on your knees. Sir, I can still work. I didn't say you couldn't work. I said you're not destroying your body while pregnant in my house. Elio's mouth opens, closes, no words come. Rowan continues. Your son needs routine, stability, something that isn't sneaking through hallways. We'll figure that out, but first you need to understand something. What? Last night when your son tucked me in, When he said big people get tired too, Rowan's voice drops. That changed things. How? I don't know yet. Silence fills the small room. Outside, morning sun burns through clouds. Birds sing. The estate wakes up like every day before, but something shifted, something broke, something started that can't be stopped now. Elio's voice comes out quiet, broken. What if he does it again? Does what? Sneaks out, goes to your room. What if I can't stop him? Rowan looks at the child sleeping in the blanket fort. At this 3-year-old who decided a billionaire alpha was safe, who trusted when trust could kill, who offered comfort to someone who spent 15 years making sure nobody gets close enough to try. Then he does it again, Rowan says, and walks away before Elio can ask what that means. The new room overlooks the east garden, where roses bloom in impossible colors. Elio stands in the doorway, doesn't enter, just stares at space 3 times bigger than what he had. King bed, 2 dressers, desk near the window, private bathroom with a tub instead of just a shower, closet big enough to walk inside. This is a mistake, he whispers. Marcus stands behind him, 6'4", arms crossed, face that seen war and decided peace was boring. Boss says you're here, so you're here. This room costs. Not your problem. Other staff will think. Also not your problem. Elio turns, looks up at Marcus. Why is he doing this? Marcus's expression doesn't change. You want me to ask him? No. Then stop asking me. He walks away, stops, turns back. Kid wakes up screaming at night. Elio freezes. How did you know? Same reason I know he's been visiting the boss for 11 weeks. I see everything in this house. Marcus nods toward the room. Walls are thicker here, soundproof. Nobody will hear if he cries. Nobody will complain. Move your stuff in before lunch. He leaves. Elio stands alone in the hallway, hand on his stomach. The baby inside kicks, strong, insistent, reminding him that choices aren't optional anymore, that survival means accepting things he doesn't understand. He enters the room. Pookie runs straight to the window, presses small hands against glass. Daddy, look, flowers. I see them, baby. Are we staying? Elio's throat closes. I don't know. The big man said we could stay. He told me when I was sleeping. Pookie, the big man wasn't. Elio stops. Cold rushes through him. What do you mean he told you? In my dream, he said don't be scared. He said this is home now. That was just a dream, baby. No, Pookie turns, face serious. He talks in dreams, like Daddy does when Daddy's sad. Elio kneels, ignores the way his knees protest, looks his son in the eyes. Listen to me, the big man is very important, very busy, we can't bother him, we can't go to his room anymore, understand? But he's lonely. Pookie. He is, I can feel it. Small hands touch Elio's face, like you were lonely before we came here, like you're still lonely even when I'm here. Truth cuts deeper when it comes from children who don't know they're supposed to lie. Elio pulls Pookie into his arms, holds tight. We're okay, baby, we're safe, that's enough. Is it? No answer comes. 3 days pass. Elio works day shift now, dusts the library, waters plants in the conservatory, folds laundry that smells like expensive detergent and wealth he'll never touch. Other staff watch him, whisper, wonder why the pregnant Omega suddenly gets special treatment, wonder what he did to earn it. Elio ignores them. He's had practice. Pookie attends the estate's small daycare now, 3 other staff children, ages 2 to 5. Supervised by an older beta woman named Pearl, who's worked here 30 years and doesn't ask questions. Everything should feel better. It doesn't. Because every night at 2:43 a.m. Elio wakes up, checks the bed, finds it empty. Every night at 2:51 Pookie crawls back in, smiling, peaceful, clutching that yellow blanket that's supposed to be in Rowan's room but somehow keeps ending up back with his son. Elio doesn't ask anymore. He's too afraid of the answer. Rowan increases security. New cameras, motion sensors recalibrated, hallway patrols doubled. Marcus runs diagnostics every 6 hours, checking, verifying, making sure the 8-minute gap doesn't exist anymore. It keeps happening. Every night, same time, 8 minutes of static. 8 minutes where technology fails and a 3-year-old moves through a fortress like it's made of paper. Marcus presents findings in Rowan's office. Laptop open, footage running. It's not mechanical failure, Marcus says. I replaced every camera on the 3rd floor, checked wiring, ran diagnostics, everything tests perfect. Then explain the gap. I can't. Rowan leans back, chair creaking. You were Marine intelligence. You tracked terrorists through 3 countries. You're telling me a toddler beats you. I'm telling you something's wrong that I don't understand. Marcus's jaw tightens. Either the kid has help we're not seeing or what? Silent. Marcus closes the laptop. Permission to speak off record. Granted. I think the house lets him. Rowan stares. The house. You've lived here 15 years. You ever notice how doors open before you reach them? How lights turn on in rooms you're about to enter? How the heat adjusts before you get cold? Marcus's voice stays level. Serious. This place is old. Built on land older than anyone remembers. Sometimes old places know things. You're saying my house has opinions. I'm saying maybe the kid goes where he's supposed to go, and maybe trying to stop him is the actual problem. Rowan should laugh, should fire Marcus for losing his mind, should call someone rational. He doesn't, because he's felt it too, the way silence fills rooms before he enters, the way the estate breathes around him, the way nothing ever breaks here unless it's supposed to. What do you suggest? Rowan asks. Stop fighting it, let him come. He's 3. He's also the only person in 15 years who made you smile. Rowan's expression hardens. I don't smile. You did. Nighty tucked you in. I saw the footage before it looped. You smiled. Marcus stands. Boss, I'm head of security. My job is protecting you. Right now, biggest threat isn't the kid. It's whatever you're about to do to keep him away. He leaves. Rowan sits alone. Outside, sunset paints the estate orange and gold. Beautiful. Empty. He built this place to prove he didn't need anyone. Didn't need family. Didn't need the parents who died before he turned 20. Didn't need the world that kept taking and taking until nothing soft survived. He succeeded. And it's killing him. That night, Rowan doesn't pretend to sleep. He sits up in bed, lights on, door unlocked, waiting. 2:43 a.m. Footsteps in the hall, small, careful, the door opens. Pookie stops, sees Rowan awake, eyes go wide. I didn't mean to wake you. You didn't, I was already up. Oh, Pookie shifts, clutches the yellow blanket. Can I still come in? Rowan should say no, should send him back, should maintain boundaries that keep billionaires safe from children who make them feel things they've spent decades burying. Yes, Rowan says. Pookie climbs onto the bed, sits cross-legged, looks at Rowan with eyes too knowing. You're sad, the child says. I'm fine. No, you're sad like Daddy, you just hide it better. Truth from children again, always truth. Rowan's hands rest on his knees. What makes you think your daddy's sad? He cries when he thinks I'm sleeping. He talks to the baby in his belly and says sorry a lot. Says sorry we had to leave. Sorry things got scary. Sorry he couldn't protect us better. Pookie's voice drops, but he did protect us. He brought us here, where you are. I'm not, Rowan stops, doesn't know how to finish. You're safe, Pookie says. That's why I come here, because safe people feel different. They feel warm, like sunshine. You feel like sunshine even when you're sleeping. Something breaks in Rowan's chest, again, deeper. I'm not a good person, Rowan says. Doesn't know why he's confessing to a 3-year-old. I've hurt people. I've destroyed competitors. I've done things that would make your daddy take you far away from here if he knew. But you wouldn't hurt us. How did you know? Pookie tilts his head, studies Rowan, because hurt people see hurt people, and you look at Daddy like you understand, like you know what it's like when someone breaks you and you have to keep going anyway. Rowan's breath stops. The child shouldn't know these things, shouldn't understand broken and survival, and the weight of pretending you're fine when everything inside is shattered. But he does, because he's Elio's son. Because some lessons are taught in silence. What happened to your daddy? Rowan asks, voice rough. Bad man hurt him, in Boston, at the fancy hotel, said mean things, did mean things. Daddy tried to run but the bad man was fast. Then Daddy got pregnant and the bad man left and Daddy packed everything and we came here. Pookie's hands grip the blanket tighter. Daddy says we're safe now, are we? The question hangs. Rowan looks at this child, at Pookie, at someone too young to carry this much weight but doing it anyway, at someone who decided trust was worth the risk. Yes, Rowan says, you're safe. Promise. I promise. Pookie smiles, bright, real, the kind of smile that hasn't learned to doubt yet. Then he curls up against Rowan's side, head on his shoulder, yellow blanket tucked around both of them. Tell me a story, the child whispers. Rowan hasn't told stories since he was 12, since his mother died and stories became lies about better futures that never came. But he tries. He tells Pookie about stars, about constellations his mother taught him, about how ancient sailors used them to find home when everything else was lost, about how some lights travel so far that by the time you see them, they're already gone, but you see them anyway, and they still guide you. Pookie falls asleep before the story ends. Rowan doesn't move. He sits there, child breathing soft against his side, warmth that shouldn't matter but does, connection he spent 15 years avoiding because connection means vulnerability means pain. Except maybe it doesn't. Maybe it means something else. The door opens. Elio stands there, fear on his face, then shock, then something else when he sees his son sleeping peacefully against the alpha who could destroy them both. I'm sorry, Elio whispers. I tried to stop him. I locked the door. I don't know how he keeps getting out. It's fine. It's not, you shouldn't have to. Elio, Rowan's voice stops him. It's fine, let him sleep. But you have work in the morning, calls, meetings, you need rest. I'll survive. Elio hesitates, hand on his stomach. The baby kicks, visible through his shirt. Rowan sees it. Something shifts in his expression. When are you due? Rowan asks. 8 weeks, maybe less. You have a doctor. Free clinic in town, they take walk-ins. Not anymore, I'm setting up appointments, private practice, best obstetrician in Connecticut, full coverage. I can't afford. You're not paying. Why are you doing this? The question sits between them, unanswered, maybe unanswerable. Rowan looks at Pookie, at this child who trusted him, who saw through walls built over 15 years, who decided sunshine lived in someone made of darkness. Because he asked me if you're safe, Rowan says, and I told him yes, I don't break promises to children. Elio's eyes fill with tears. But this time they don't fall. The call comes at 6 a.m. Rowan's phone buzzes, New York number, he answers. Blackwell. Rowan, it's Jonathan, his lawyer, voice tight, we have a problem. Rowan's already moving, out of bed, Pookie still sleeping. He walks to the bathroom, closes the door, keeps his voice low. Talk. Caspian Hale filed complaints, 3 of them, claims your hiring practices discriminate, claims you're creating hostile work environments, claims, Jonathan pauses, claims you're showing favoritism to staff members in exchange for personal services. Rowan's blood goes cold, he's talking about Elio. He didn't name anyone specifically, but the timeline matches. Omega hired 3 months ago, suddenly gets room upgrades, schedule changes, private medical care, it looks. I don't care how it looks. You should, Hale's connected, he's already reached out to labor boards. If this gains traction, it could trigger investigations, audits, media attention. Everything we've worked to avoid. Rowan's jaw tightens, what does he want? Reinstatement, public apology, 7-figure settlement. For what? I removed him for violating contract terms. He claims you fabricated violations to punish him for questioning your management. He harassed my staff. You have proof. Silent. Security footage doesn't record audio. Witnesses won't testify against a man with Hale's resources. Elio would never survive a deposition. What do you suggest? Rowan asks. Settle quietly, make it go away. It's cheaper than fighting. No. Rowan. I said no. Hale humiliated an employee in my house. He made crude comments about someone's pregnancy. He violated every code of conduct we have. I'm not rewarding that. Then prepare for war, because that's what this becomes if you fight. The call ends. Rowan stands in the bathroom, hands braced on the marble counter. His reflection stares back. Alpha, billionaire, alone. Except he's not alone anymore. Because a 3-year-old sleeps in his bed. Because an Omega trusts him with secrets that could destroy them both. Because choosing protection over reputation means everything changes. And he chose. Morning staff meeting, 8 a.m., conference room on the 2nd floor. 12 people, department heads, house manager, security chief, kitchen supervisor, groundskeeper, all sitting around a table that seats 20. Rowan enters last. Everyone straightens. He doesn't sit, stands at the head of the table, hands in his pockets, expression controlled. We have a situation, Rowan says. Former associate is filing complaints, targeting our employment practices, specifically how we treat staff. I want everyone aware this is happening. I want everyone prepared for possible interviews. Do not speak to outside investigators without legal counsel present. Understood? Nods around the table. Good. 2nd issue. I'm implementing new protocols. Anyone harasses staff, any staff, for any reason, they're terminated immediately. No warnings, no second chances. This is non-negotiable. Marcus speaks up. Boss, that's going to make some people uncomfortable. I don't care. Visitors, business associates, people who expect certain. They can expect basic human decency or they can leave. Rowan's voice sharpens. This house has rules. We've been lax enforcing them. That ends now. You work here, you treat people with respect. You visit here, you treat people with respect. Simple. The house manager, older beta woman named Claire, raises her hand. Does this include staff-to-staff conduct? Yes. What about, she hesitates. What about gossip, rumors, people talk, especially about changes? Changes like what? Like why certain people get special treatment. The room goes quiet. Rowan knows what she means. Knows the staff whispers about Elio, about the room upgrade, about the schedule change, about the Alpha who suddenly cares about a pregnant Omega he barely knows. Define special treatment, Rowan says, voice dangerously calm. Claire swallows. I'm just saying, people notice. When one person gets private rooms, medical care, different duties, it creates questions. And what do these people think is happening? I don't want to speak for. Claire, what do they think? She meets his eyes. They think you're sleeping with him. Silent. Heavy, suffocating. Rowan doesn't blink. Am I? I don't know. Then why assume? Because it's the only thing that makes sense. You don't give special treatment. You've never given special treatment. Not in 15 years. Then suddenly. Suddenly what? I decide someone deserves dignity. Rowan leans forward. Elio Cross is pregnant, 7 months, carrying a child that isn't mine. He works night shifts while raising a toddler alone. He escaped a dangerous situation and came here looking for safety. I gave him better hours, a better room, medical care that won't risk his life or his child's life. If that's special treatment, then everyone here should receive special treatment. Claire's face flushes. But you're right, Rowan continues. People will talk, people will assume. People will decide there's something inappropriate happening because they can't imagine an Alpha helping an Omega without wanting something in return. His voice drops. That says more about them than it does about me. Nobody speaks. Meeting's over, Rowan says, back to work. They file out slowly, quietly. Marcus stays. You just made enemies, Marcus says. I have enemies, this is nothing new. These are different, these are internal. People who work for you, people who now think you're lying to them. Am I? Marcus studies him. I don't know, are you? Am I what? Sleeping with him. Rowan's expression goes ice cold. Get out. Boss. I said get out. Marcus leaves. Rowan stands alone in the empty conference room, hands shaking, not from anger, from something worse. Fear. Because Marcus is right. People will assume, will investigate, will dig until they find something that confirms what they already believe. And once they decide Rowan's relationship with Elio is inappropriate, nothing he says will matter. The truth won't matter. Elio will suffer for it. And Pookie. Rowan's chest tightens. He pulls out his phone, texts his lawyer. Prepare counterclaim, hail harassed staff, I want everything, depositions, witnesses, records, make him regret this. Jonathan responds immediately. This will get ugly. Good, I'm done being careful. Elio hears about the meeting from Pearl. She corners him in the laundry room, face concerned, voice low. You need to be careful, Pearl says. About what? The boss, the staff, what people are saying. Elio's hands still on the sheet he's folding. What are people saying? That you're sleeping with him, that the baby's his, that you're using your pregnancy to manipulate him into giving you things. Cold floods Elio's veins. That's not, I would never. I know, but they don't. Pearl touches his shoulder. Honey, I've worked here 30 years, I've seen a lot, and I'm telling you this doesn't end well, not for you. I'm just trying to survive. I know, but survival looks different when you're Omega, when you're pregnant, when you're getting attention from an alpha who's never looked twice at anyone. She squeezes gently. You're in danger, not from him, from everyone else. Elio's breath comes faster. What should I do? Leave before this gets worse. I can't, I have nowhere to go. Then pray Rowan Blackwell is the man you think he is, because if he's not, Pearl's eyes fill with sadness. You won't survive what comes next. She leaves. Elio stands alone, hands pressed to his stomach, baby kicking inside, strong, alive, depending on him to make the right choices. He doesn't know what the right choice is anymore. That night, 2:43 a.m. Rowan sits awake, waiting. The door opens. Pookie enters, stops, looks at Rowan with eyes that see too much. You're scared, the child says. I'm fine. No, you're scared like Daddy gets scared, when bad things are coming and you can't stop them. Rowan's throat closes. Pookie climbs onto the bed, sits close, puts small hands on Rowan's arm. It's okay to be scared, Pookie whispers. Daddy says being scared means you care about something, means you have something worth protecting. Your daddy's very wise. He is, but he's scared too, all the time, even when he pretends he's not. What's he scared of? Losing us, losing you, losing the safe place we finally found. Rowan looks at this child, at Pookie, at someone who just said losing you like Rowan belongs to them now, like family isn't blood, like protection creates bonds stronger than DNA. You won't lose me, Rowan says. Promise. I already promised, remember. Pookie nods, smiles, then curls up against Rowan's side. The door opens again. Elio stands there, face pale, eyes red. He looks at Rowan, at his son sleeping peacefully against the alpha everyone thinks he's sleeping with. We need to talk, Elio says. I know. People are saying. I know. They think I'm. I know what they think's they're wrong. But they believe it, and belief is dangerous. Rowan stands, carefully. Pookie stirs but doesn't wake. He lays the child on the bed, covers him with the yellow blanket. Then he walks to Elio. Stands close enough to see fear in his eyes, close enough to feel him trembling. I'm not going to let anyone hurt you, Rowan says. Not Hale, not the staff, not anyone. You can't promise that. I already did to your son, and I don't break promises. Elio's eyes fill with tears. Why are you doing this? You don't owe us anything. We're nothing to you, we're just. You're not nothing. Then what are we? The question hangs. Rowan doesn't have an answer. Not yet. But he's starting to. The letter arrives Tuesday morning. Law firm, Maryland address, 18 pages. Legal threats wrapped in professional language that means the same thing. Surrender or be destroyed. Caspian Hale wants blood. Rowan reads it twice. Office silent except for the clock his grandfather installed in 1967, each tick measuring seconds until this explodes into something public, something ugly. Something that will hurt Elio. He picks up his phone, calls Jonathan. They filed officially, his lawyer says. No greeting, discrimination, hostile workplace, emotional distress. They're asking for $12 million. Based on what? Based on your pattern of erratic behavior with staff, based on sudden policy changes, based on, Jonathan pauses, based on witness statements. Rowan's blood freezes. What witnesses? 3 staff members, anonymous, claiming you show inappropriate favoritism, claiming you've created uncomfortable situations, claiming other employees feel unsafe reporting concerns. 2. Can't tell you, witness protection rules. They work for me. They're protected by labor law. If you retaliate, this gets 10 times worse. Rowan's grip tightens on the phone. What did they say specifically? That you moved a pregnant Omega into private quarters, that you provide medical care he can't afford, that you spend nights alone with him, that his child has unrestricted access to your personal space. That. Stop. Silence. None of that is what they're implying, Rowan says. Doesn't matter, implication is enough. Hale's team will paint a picture. Powerful alpha, vulnerable Omega, pregnancy, dependence, it's textbook. Textbook what? Coercion, even if consensual, the power dynamic makes it questionable. You're his employer, he's carrying a child, he has nowhere else to go. Every choice you make for him looks like control. I'm protecting him. From what? From people like Hale, from people who think pregnant Omegas are targets, from a world that's already hurt him enough. Jonathan sighs. Rowan, listen to yourself, you're describing obsession, possession, not protection. That's not. How long have you known him? 3 months. How many conversations have you had? Real conversations, not orders, not instructions. Rowan doesn't answer. That's what I thought, Jonathan says. You're making decisions for someone you barely know, moving him, changing his life, giving his child access to your private space at 3 a.m. From the outside, this looks. I don't care how it looks. You should, because this goes to court. They'll subpoena everything. Medical records, room assignments, security footage. They'll find Elio's son in your bed. They'll find night visits. They'll build a case that destroys you both. Then we settle. You said you wouldn't. That was before I understood what fighting means. Silence stretches. Jonathan speaks carefully. What changed? Nothing. Rowan. Nothing changed. I'm making a strategic decision. Fighting hurts more people than it helps. We settle, quietly, make Hale go away, move on. You're protecting the Omega. I'm protecting everyone. By giving Hale exactly what he wants. By choosing my battles. The call ends. Rowan sits alone. Outside, rain starts, soft, steady, the kind that soaks into everything and doesn't stop. His phone buzzes. Text from Marcus. Need to see you, now. Marcus enters the office without knocking. His expression says everything. We have a leak, Marcus says. I know, witnesses. Not just witnesses, someone's feeding Hale information, real-time updates, every move you make, every change you implement, he knows before we do. Rowan stands. Who? Don't know yet, but it's someone with access, someone who sees staff assignments, medical records, security reports. Let's narrow it down. 12 possibilities, all trusted, all been here years. Then it's not about trust, it's about money. Find out who Hale's paying. Marcus hesitates. Boss, there's something else. What? The Omega, Elio, he's getting threats. Rowan's vision narrows. What kind of threats? Notes under his door, in his locker. Someone's telling him to leave, saying he's putting everyone at risk, saying if he stays, bad things happen. When did this start? Week ago, maybe more. He didn't report it. Why not? Because he's Omega, because reporting makes it worse, because Marcus stops, because he's terrified. Rowan's hands curl into fists. Where is he now? Laundry room's 3rd floor. Rowan moves. Marcus calls after him. Boss, what are you going to do? No answer. Because Rowan doesn't know yet. Elio stands at the folding table. Hands shaking, white-knuckling a pillowcase, tears streaming down his face. He doesn't wipe them, just keeps folding, mechanical, automatic. Rowan stops in the doorway. Elio doesn't notice. It's Elio. He jumps, drops the pillowcase, turns, face red, eyes swollen. I'm sorry, I needed a minute. I'll get back to work. Show me the notes. Elio freezes. What? The threats, Marcus told me. Show me. It's nothing, just people are upset. I'm causing problems. It makes sense they'd. Show me the notes. Elio's hands tremble. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out folded papers, 4 of them, crumpled, stained with tears. Rowan takes them, unfolds them, reads, "Leave before you ruin everything. Your kind doesn't belong here. The baby isn't his, stop pretending. If you stay, we'll make sure you regret it." Rage floods Rowan's system, cold, controlled, the kind that doesn't explode, the kind that calculates, plans, destroys. "Who gave you these?" Rowan asks, voice too calm. "I don't know, they just appear, under my door, in my things." "How long?" 10 days. "Why didn't you report it?" "Because I can't prove who's doing it, because it'll make people angrier, because," Elio's voice breaks, "because they're right, I am causing problems. You're getting sued because of me. Staff hates me because of me. Everything's falling apart because I'm here and I should just stop. I should leave, take Pookie, go somewhere else, start over. You don't need this, you don't need us, we're just..." "Elio, stop." Elio's mouth closes, tears keep falling. Rowan steps closer. "You didn't cause this. Hell did. The people writing these notes did, not you. But I'm the reason." "You're the excuse, there's a difference." Rowan's jaw tightens. "People who want to hurt me will use anything. If it wasn't you, it would be something else. You're not responsible for their cruelty." "But Pookie is safe, I promised you that, I meant it." "You can't keep that promise if we're here. We're making you vulnerable, we're giving them ammunition. We're..." "Mine." Silent. Elio stares. "What?" "You're mine, both of you, under my protection, my responsibility. Anyone who threatens you threatens me, and I don't lose." "You don't even know me." "I know enough. You know I'm a pregnant Omega with a child and nowhere else to go. You know I'm convenient, you know. I know your son tucked me in because he thought I looked lonely. I know you work night shifts while pregnant because you're too proud to ask for help. I know you ran from someone who hurt you and you're still running, still afraid, still protecting everyone except yourself." Rowan's voice softens. "I know you're stronger than anyone gives you credit for, including you." Elio's breath hitches. "I'm settling with Hale," Rowan continues, "giving him money, making him go away. He doesn't get to hurt you anymore." "You said you wouldn't settle." "I changed my mind." "Why?" "Because you matter, because Pookie matters. Because somewhere between pretending to sleep and being tucked in by a 3-year-old, this stopped being about pride and started being about protection." Rowan doesn't say any of this. "Because it's the right move strategically," he says instead. Elio doesn't believe him. But he doesn't argue. "What about the notes?" Elio asks. "I'll handle it." "How?" "Let me worry about that." "Rowan, do you trust me?" The question hangs. Elio looks at him, at this alpha who's rewriting his entire life for reasons he doesn't understand, who's fighting battles Elio didn't ask him to fight, who's making promises that sound impossible. "I don't know," Elio whispers. "Fair enough," Rowan steps back, "but trust me on this, whoever's threatening you will stop, permanently." He leaves before Elio can ask what permanently means. That night, Rowan calls a mandatory staff meeting. Everyone, no exceptions. They gather in the main hall, whispers, speculation, fear. Rowan stands at the front, Marcus beside him, expression unreadable. "Someone here is threatening staff members," Rowan says, no preamble, leaving notes, making accusations, creating hostile environments. "This ends now." Silent. "I'm offering 24 hours. Whoever's responsible comes forward, confesses, leaves quietly. No charges, no lawsuits, clean break." Murmurs spread. "If nobody comes forward, I bring in investigators. I check security footage. I audit communications. I find out who's doing this and I destroy them. Legally, professionally, permanently." Clea speaks up. "What if the notes are justified? What if someone's actually causing problems?" Rowan's gaze locks on her. "Then they come to me. They don't hide behind anonymous threats. They don't terrorize pregnant Omegas. They act like adults." "But you're biased." "Yes, I am. I'm biased toward basic human decency. If that's controversial here, you're in the wrong house." Nobody speaks. 24 hours, Rowan repeats. "Choose wisely." He walks out. Staff disperses slowly, uncomfortably. Marcus follows Rowan to his office. You just declared war, Marcus says. Good. On your own staff. On whoever thinks threatening people is acceptable. They'll resist, they'll lawyer up, they'll make this messy. Let them. Rowan's eyes are ice. I've spent 15 years building an empire, building wealth, building power. For what? So I can be too afraid to protect people who need it. So I can let bullies win because fighting is inconvenient. Boss. I'm done being strategic. I'm done being careful. Someone threatens a Leo, they threaten me. Someone makes him cry, they answer to me. That's the new rule. Don't like it. Leave. Marcus stares. You're in love with him. What? You're in love with him, the Omega, a Leo. That's what this is. Rowan's jaw tightens. That's not. Boss, I've known you 15 years. I've never seen you like this. Never seen you care about anyone. Never seen you risk everything for someone you barely know. This isn't strategy. This is... Enough. This is love. Get out. Marcus doesn't move. What happens when he finds out? When he realizes you've blown up your life for him? When he asks why and you can't answer because you don't even understand it yourself? I said get out. Marcus leaves. Rowan stands alone. Breathing hard, hands shaking. Marcus is wrong. This isn't love. Love is soft, kind, gentle. This is rage, protection, the need to burn down anyone who threatens what's his. Except a Leo isn't his. Pookie isn't his. They're just people he's protecting. People he's fighting for. People he'd destroy the world for if it meant keeping them safe. Outside, rain pounds harder. And Rowan wonders when protection became something he can't control anymore. The confession comes at 4 a.m. Clea stands in Rowan's office, mascara streaked down her face, hands twisting a tissue into shreds. She hasn't slept, neither has he. It was me, she says, voice cracking. I wrote the notes. Rowan sits behind his desk, motionless, waiting. Not all of them, Clea continues. Just the first two, then others started adding their own. I didn't know it would, I didn't mean for it to. Why? Because he doesn't belong here, because you changed everything for him, because in 15 years you never once asked how my daughter was doing when she got sick, never once offered help when my husband lost his job, never once cared about anyone except yourself. Then this Omega shows up and suddenly you're human. Her voice rises. Why him? What makes him special? That's not your concern. It is when it affects everyone here, when staff morale crashes, when people start wondering if their jobs are safe, when you blow up your entire reputation for someone you don't even. Careful. Clea stops, swallows. Rowan leans forward. You're fired. I know. You have 2 hours to pack. Security will escort you off the property. You'll receive severance minus legal fees for harassment. References will state you left for personal reasons. That's the generous version. Would you like the alternative? No. Then leave. Clea doesn't move. Can I ask one thing? No. Are you sleeping with him? Rowan's expression turns deadly. Get out. Because if you are, everything we're saying is true. If you're using your position to. I said get out. I'm trying to understand. Rowan stands. You want to understand? Fine. Elio Cross came here running from an alpha who assaulted him, who got him pregnant through coercion, who disappeared the moment consequences appeared. He's raising a 3-year-old alone while carrying another child. He works night shifts because daytime childcare costs money he doesn't have. He wears oversized clothes to hide his pregnancy because people like you make him feel ashamed. He apologizes for existing because the world taught him Omegas are disposable. His voice drops. So yes, I gave him a better room, better hours, medical care, because he deserves basic dignity, and if that makes you uncomfortable, that's your problem, not his. Clea's face crumples. I'm sorry. You should be, but not to me, to him. He won't want to see me. I don't care what he wants right now. You terrorized a pregnant Omega. You made him cry. You made him think about leaving the one safe place he's found. You apologize, on your knees if necessary. Then you leave and you never contact anyone here again. Silent. Clea nods, broken, defeated. She leaves. Marcus enters 30 seconds later. 2 others confessed, he says. Kitchen staff, both claiming they were following Clea's lead, both willing to apologize. Fire them. Boss. Fire them today, clean breaks, no severance. They want to play victim, they can do it somewhere else. Marcus hesitates. Staff will talk, they'll say you're overreacting, they'll say. Let them talk. Anyone who thinks threatening pregnant omegas is acceptable can follow Claire out the door. You're burning bridges. Good, maybe the new ones will be stronger. Marcus studies him. You're different. How? Before you controlled everything, calculated every move, now you're just, he stops, searches for the word, feeling. Is that a problem? Depends, feelings make people reckless, make them vulnerable, make them human. Marcus's jaw tightens. Yeah, human. Rowan turns to the window. Dawn breaks over the estate, pink and gold light painting everything soft, beautiful, the kind of morning that promises new starts. Tell Elio the threats are handled, Rowan says. Tell him he's safe, tell him he stops, just tell him it's over. Marcus leaves. Rowan stands alone, watching sunrise, wondering when safety became the only thing that mattered. Elio finds out through Pearl. She knocks on his door, 7 a.m., face serious. Clay is gone, Pearl says, fired, escorted out an hour ago. Elio's hands still on the shirt he's buttoning. What? She confessed, writing the notes, harassing you, boss gave her 2 hours to leave. He fired her for me. For you. Elio sits on the bed, breath coming fast. She's been here 10 years, she has a family, a mortgage, he can't just. He already did 2 kitchen staff too, anyone involved, gone. This is my fault. No, it's theirs, they chose cruelty, they're facing consequences. But they're families. Not your responsibility, Pearl sits beside him. Honey, you need to understand something. That man upstairs, he doesn't do halfway. He doesn't do mercy for people who hurt what's his. Claire threatened you, she made you cry. She's lucky he stopped at firing. What's his? Pearl looks at him, really looks. You still don't see it. See what? How he looks at you, how he's rewriting his entire world around you, how he's burning down everything to keep you safe. He's just being kind. Rowan Blackwell doesn't do kind, he does strategic, calculated, controlled. This, Pearl shakes her head, this is something else. You're wrong. Am I? Then explain why he settled with Hale, why he fired 3 staff members, why he's restructuring his entire household over one omega he barely knows. Elio's throat closes. I don't know. Yes you do, you're just afraid to admit it. Admit what? That he cares, that you matter, that maybe you're not as disposable as the world made you believe. Tears burn Elio's eyes. Don't. Don't what? Don't give me hope. Hope is dangerous. Hope makes you believe things that aren't real, makes you trust people who leave, makes you human. Pearl takes his hand. You've been surviving so long you forgot how to live, maybe it's time to remember. She leaves. Elio sits alone. Hand on his stomach, baby kicking, strong, insistent, reminding him that survival isn't optional, that hope is terrifying, that trusting an alpha billionaire means risking everything. Again. Settlement papers arrive Thursday. 12 million, signed, notarized, Hale's lawyers confirm receipt, case closed, public statement released claiming mutual resolution, no admission of guilt, no details, clean. Too clean. Rowan reads the confirmation email, deletes it, moves on. His phone rings, Jonathan. Hale's bragging, his lawyer says, telling people he won, telling people you backed down. Let him. Rowan. He got money, I got peace, fair trade. Is it? Because from where I'm sitting, you just paid 12 million to protect one employee. That's not strategy. That's enough. I'm serious, this sets a precedent. Anyone who wants money just has to threaten the Omega, just has to. If anyone threatens Elio again, money won't fix it. Make sure everyone knows that. Silence. You're in deep, Jonathan says quietly. I'm aware. Does he know? Know what? That you'd burn your empire to keep him safe. Rowan's grip tightens on the phone. That's not. It is, and eventually he'll figure it out. Then you'll have to explain why, and I don't think you can, because I don't think you understand it yourself. The call ends. Rowan sits at his desk. Outside, clouds gather, storm coming, the kind that turns afternoon into night, the kind that makes everything go still before chaos. His office door opens without knocking. Elio stands there. Pregnant belly visible under the sweater he's given up trying to hide, face determined despite the fear in his eyes, hands shaking but voice steady. "Why did you settle?" Elio asks. "Strategic decision." "Liar." Rowan blinks. "Excuse me. You said you wouldn't settle, you said you'd fight, you said Hale didn't deserve victory, then you gave him $12 million. Why?" "It's complicated." "Then uncomplicate it." "Elio. Don't give me corporate answers, don't treat me like staff. I'm standing here asking a simple question. Why did you settle?" Rowan stands, because fighting meant investigations, depositions, testimony. They would have subpoenaed you, put you on the stand, made you relive everything Hale did, everything your previous alpha did. They would have torn you apart to prove their case. I wasn't going to let that happen. "So you paid him?" "Yes." $12 million. "Yes." "For me?" "For you." Elio's breath hitches. "You barely know me." "I know enough. You know I'm pregnant, you know I have a son, you know I needed a job. That's not enough to justify $12 million. "It is to me." "Why?" The question hangs between them, heavy, unavoidable. Rowan doesn't have an answer that makes sense, doesn't have words for why this Omega matters, why his tears matter, why protecting him feels more important than pride or money or reputation. "Because your son tucked me in," Rowan says finally. "Because he trusted me when trust could have gotten him hurt. Because you survived things that would have destroyed me. Because watching you exist in this world makes me angrier than anything I've faced in business. Because," he stops, breathes, "because you matter." "I'm nobody." "You're not nobody, not to Pookie, not to," Rowan stops himself. "Not to who?" Silence. Elio steps closer, hand on his stomach, baby kicking visibly now, life moving inside him, proof that survival continues, that hope exists even when everything says it shouldn't. "You fired Claire," Elio says. "Yes." "Because she threatened me." "Yes." "You restructured staff policies, hired investigators, changed your entire household, for me." "Yes." "Why?" "I already told you." "Tell me again, without the corporate speak, without the careful words, just truth." Rowan looks at him, at this Omega who's been hurt and broken, and rebuilt himself with nothing but determination and love for his child, at someone who deserves every protection Rowan can offer, at someone who makes him feel things he's spent 15 years avoiding. "Because when I look at you I don't see an employee," Rowan says, voice rough. "I see someone fighting alone, someone protecting everyone except himself, someone who's been told he's worthless so many times he believes it, and I can't," he stops, jaw tight, "I can't watch that anymore, can't watch you apologize for existing. Can't watch you shrink yourself to fit spaces that don't deserve you. Can't watch you survive when you should be living." Tears stream down Elio's face. "So yes," Rowan continues, "I paid $12 million, I fired staff, I changed everything, because you walked into my house 3 months ago and reminded me that money doesn't mean anything if you're not protecting the things that matter." "I'm not yours to protect." "I know. Then why?" "Because I want you to be." The words fall between them like stones into water. Rippling, spreading, changing everything. Elio stares. "What?" Rowan steps closer, close enough to see silver flecks in blue eyes, close enough to feel warmth radiating from pregnant belly between them, close enough to make this real instead of words. "I want you to be mine to protect," Rowan says. "You and Pookie and the baby you're carrying. I want you safe, want you comfortable, want you to stop running, stop hiding, stop apologizing for needing things." "You don't even know me." "Then let me learn." "I have nothing to offer you, no money, no connections, no." "I don't want those things." "Then what do you want?" "You here, safe, that's all." Elio's hands tremble. "People will say." "I don't care what people say. They'll think I'm using you, manipulating you, trading my body for." "Let them think it, I know the truth." "What truth?" "That you're not using me, that I'm choosing this, that every decision I've made has been mine, not coerced, not manipulated, mine." "Why would you choose this, choose me?" Rowan's hand lifts, stops inches from Elio's face. asking permission without words. Elio doesn't move away. Rowan's fingers touch his cheek, gentle, careful, the way someone touches something precious, something that might break. "Because your son trusted me," Rowan whispers, "and I want to be worthy of that." Elio closes his eyes, leans into the touch, just slightly, just enough. "This is insane," Elio breathes. "I know. You're risking everything." "I know. For what? For someone who might leave, someone who might." "Do you want leave?" "How do you know?" "Because you're still here, still fighting, still asking questions instead of running, that's how I know." Elio opens his eyes, looks at Rowan, at this alpha who's rewriting reality, who's making promises that sound impossible, who's looking at him like he matters. Like he's worth choosing. "I don't know how to do this," Elio whispers. "Do what?" "Trust, stay, believe that someone actually wants me without taking." "Yes." "Then let me show you." Rowan's thumb brushes Elio's cheekbone. No pressure, no expectations, just safety, just time, just proof that not everyone wants to hurt you. "And if I can't believe it, then I'll keep proving it until you can." Thunder rolls outside. Rain starts. Heavy, insistent. Elio's breath shakes. "Pookie will want to see you tonight." "I know. He'll climb into your bed and tell you stories about his day." "I know. He'll call you safe, call you warm, call you home." Elio's tears fall faster. "Yes." "Is that what this is?" Rowan asks. "Home?" "I don't know, maybe, if you'll let it be." Rowan's other hand lifts, cups Elio's face, holds him like something that matters, something worth protecting, something worth choosing. "Then it's home," Rowan says, "for as long as you want it to be." Elio breaks. Sobs into Rowan's chest, hands gripping his shirt, months of fear and exhaustion and running finally crashing through walls he built to survive. Rowan holds him, doesn't speak, doesn't pull away, just stands there while Elio falls apart in the one place he's allowed to. In arms that won't let him fall. 3 weeks pass like water through fingers. Elio stops apologizing. Small change, massive shift. He enters rooms without asking permission, accepts help without guilt, lets Pearl watch Pookie without offering payment, eats meals without calculating cost, sleeps past dawn without panic. Lives instead of survives. Rowan watches it happen. Every morning, Elio walks through the conservatory where sunlight paints everything gold, touches plants, smiles at flowers, hand always on his stomach, talking to the baby inside, promising safety, promising better, promising things Rowan wants to help him keep. They don't talk about that conversation in the office. Don't define what this is. Don't label the way Rowan's chest tightens when Elio laughs, the way Elio's eyes find Rowan across crowded rooms, the way Pookie climbs into Rowan's lap during breakfast and announces, "Papa's here," like it's fact instead of hope. They just exist. Together. Until Friday. The contractions start during lunch. Elio's in the kitchen, cutting fruit for Pookie, strawberries, the child's favorite. He reaches for another. Pain slices through his abdomen. Sharp, wrong. The knife clatters to the floor. Pearl turns, "Honey." "I'm fine, just another contraction." Harder, Elio grips the counter. "It's too early." "How early?" 6 weeks, the baby's not, this can't be. "We're calling the doctor." No, it's just stress. It'll pass, I just need to." Fluid runs down Elio's legs. Pearl's face goes white. "Your water broke." No, it's too early. The baby's not ready. I'm not ready. I can't." "MARCUS," Pearl shouts. "Get the boss, now." Rowan's in a conference call with Tokyo when Marcus bursts in. "It's the Omega," Marcus says. No preamble. "Baby's coming now." Rowan's already moving. Down the stairs, through the hall, into the kitchen where Elio's on the floor, Pearl beside him, Pookie crying in the corner. "I'm sorry," Elio gasps, tears streaming. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it's too early, I can't." Rowan kneels, ambulance. 10 minutes out, Marcus says. "That's too long." "Boss." "Call the private helicopter, Connecticut Med Center, tell them we're coming, Tell them it's premature labor. Tell them, he looks at Elio, at pain and fear and this Omega trying to apologize for something beyond his control. Tell them it's an emergency. Marcus runs. Rowan lifts Elio, careful, gentle, the way someone carries something precious, something breaking. I've got you, Rowan says. The baby's too small, too early, what if? Don't think about what if, just breathes. I can't lose this baby, I already lost so much, I can't. You won't, I won't let you. Elio's hands grip Rowan's shirt, white-knuckled, desperate, promise. I promise. Pearl scoops up Pookie, I'll bring him, meet you there. They move. Outside, helicopter waiting, rotor blades spinning, noise drowning everything except Elio's breathing, fast, panicked. Rowan climbs in, Elio in his arms, medic already reaching, taking vitals, asking questions Rowan doesn't hear. The helicopter lifts. Estate shrinking below. Elio's eyes close, I'm scared. I know. What if I'm not strong enough? You're the strongest person I know. I'm not, I'm just. You're here still fighting, that strength. Elio's next contraction hits. He screams. Rowan holds tighter, wishes he could take this pain, carry it himself, do something other than watch someone he's starting to. He stops that thought. Not now. Not when everything's falling apart. Connecticut Med Center, NICU on standby, surgical team ready. They rush Elio inside. Rowan follows. Security tries to stop him, only family. I'm family. Are you the father? Yes. Lied truth doesn't matter. They let him through. Labor and delivery, bright lights, sterile smells, Elio on the bed, doctors surrounding him, checking dilation, monitoring heart rates, plural. Baby's heartbeat, fast, stressed. Elio's heartbeat, faster. We need to prep for C-section, someone says. Baby's in distress, we can't wait. No, Elio gasps. No surgery, please, I can do this, I can. Mr. Cross, the baby's heart rate is dropping, if we wait. Please, just give me time, I can. Another contraction, worse, Elio's scream cuts through everything. Rowan's at his side, hand in Elio's, being crushed, bones grinding, he doesn't pull away. Listen to me, Rowan says, voice steady even when nothing else is. They know what they're doing, let them help. I'm scared. I know, but you're not alone, I'm right here, I'm not leaving. You promise? I promise. Elio looks at him, eyes searching, finding something, believing something. Okay, Elio whispers, okay, do it. They prep him. Fast, efficient. Rowan's pushed back, scrubs thrust at him. Mask, gloves, someone saying words he doesn't process. 5 minutes later, he's beside Elio again. Blue draped between them and the surgery, Elio's eyes wide, terrified, hand gripping Rowan's like a lifeline. Talk to me, Elio begs, please, just talk, I can't think about what's happening. Rowan talks. About nothing, everything, about the estate, about roses in the garden, about how Pookie asked yesterday if Barbies like strawberries too, about plans for the nursery he's already designing in his head, about futures that might not happen but he's speaking into existence anyway. Elio listens. Breathing through pain, through fear, through the feeling of being cut open while awake. Then crying. Not Elio. Smaller. Weaker. A baby. It's a boy, someone announces. Silence. Wrong silence. The crying stops. Elio's hand tightens. Why isn't he crying? Why? NICU team now. Movement rushing, the tiny cry starts again, weak but there. Rowan sees him for half a second. Small, red, perfect. Then gone. Whisked away to machines and specialists, and people who know how to keep 6-week premature Barbies alive. Elio sobs, is he okay? Please, someone tell me if he's okay. A doctor appears, face kind, voice gentle. He's breathing, that's good, but he's very small, 3 pounds 2 ounces. We need to get him stabilized, get him warm, get him fed. It'll be a few hours before we know more. Can I see him? Soon we need to finish here first, then we'll take you to recovery, then NICU, okay? Elio nods, can't speak. They finish the surgery. Stitch him closed, move him to recovery. Rowan follows, never lets go of his hand. 2 hours pass. Pearl arrives with Pookie. The child runs to Elio's bedside. Daddy, is the baby here? Yes, baby, you have a brother. Can I see him? Not yet, he's very small. The doctors are helping him get strong. Like superheroes. Exactly like superheroes. Pookie climbs onto the bed, careful, gentle, lays his head on Elio's chest. I'll protect him, Pookie whispers, like Papa protects us. Elio's eyes find Rowan's. Something passes between them. Unspoken. Undeniable. This is family. Midnight NICU. Elio sits in a wheelchair beside an incubator. Inside his son, tubes everywhere, wires, machines beeping, so small, so fragile. Elio's hand presses against the glass. Hi baby, he whispers. I'm your daddy, I know you're scared. I know it's too bright and too loud and you want to go back where it was warm and safe. But you can't, you have to stay here, you have to fight, because his voice breaks. Because I already love you too much to lose you. The baby doesn't respond. Just breathes, mechanical, assisted. Rowan stands behind Elio, silent, watching. I don't know if I can do this, Elio says. Watch him suffer, watch him fight, not knowing if he'll make it. You don't know that. I know he's your son, I know he's a fighter, I know, Rowan stops, breathes. I know he's not alone. Elio looks up, what? He has you, has Pookie, has everyone who's going to make sure he survives this. He has you. Rowan's jaw tightens, yes. Why would you fight for a baby that isn't yours? Because he's yours, that's enough. Elio stares, you really mean that? Yes. Even though people will think. I don't care what people think. Even though it's insane to. Elio, Rowan kneels, eye level. I already told you, you matter, all of you, your past, your present, your future, your children, everything. I'm not walking away because things got hard, I'm staying, for as long as you'll let me. Tears fall, I don't deserve this. You deserve everything. I'm broken, damaged, I have 2 kids and no money and… You're not broken, you're surviving, there's a difference. But what if I can't? What if the baby doesn't make it? What if I fall apart? What if… Then I'll be there, holding you together, until you're ready to do it yourself. Elio's breath hitches. Why are you doing this? Because, Rowan stops. Because I'm falling in love with you. Because watching you exist makes me want to be better. Because your son called me Papa and I want that to be real. Because I'm terrified and hopeful and feeling things I've spent 15 years avoiding. He doesn't say any of this. Because you asked me if you're safe, Rowan says instead. And I promised you yes, I keep my promises. Elio reaches for his hand. Rowan takes it. They sit together. Watching a baby fight. Hopping hope is enough. The baby stops breathing on day 3. Alarms scream, NICU staff rush in. Code blue, compressions, tiny chest, tinier heartbeat. Elio watches through glass. Frozen. Silent. Rowan pulls him away, into the hall, into his arms. Elio doesn't cry, doesn't scream, just stands there, shaking, like if he moves, reality becomes real. 2 minutes. Longest 2 minutes of Rowan's life. A doctor emerges. He's stable, we got him back. Elio collapses. Rowan catches him. Holds him while he finally breaks. Day 7, baby gains 2 ounces. Small victory, massive relief. Doctors say he's stronger, breathing better, feeding tube working, heart rate stable. Elio touches the incubator. Did you hear that, baby? You're doing it, you're fighting. The baby's hand moves. Tiny, perfect. Gripping nothing but air. He needs a name, Pearl says. She's visited every day, brought Pookie every afternoon, stayed when Elio couldn't keep his eyes open anymore. I know, Elio whispers. What were you thinking? I don't know, nothing feels right, nothing feels strong enough, Rowan asks. Elio looks at him, yes. Then name him something strong, something that means fighter, survivor, something he can grow into. Elio thinks, Josiah, it means God supports, God heals. Rowan nods, Josiah Cross. Or Elio stops, swallows, or Josiah Blackwell. Silence. Pearl's eyebrows rise. Rowan goes very still. What? If you want, Elio says quickly. You don't have to, I just thought you've been here every day. You've held me together, you fought for him like he stops, can't finish. Like he's mine, Rowan says. Yes. Elio. I know it's fast, I know it's crazy. I know people will say I'm using you, trapping you, but I'm not, Elio's voice breaks. I just want him to have a father who chooses him, who wants him, who stays. Rowan's throat closes. He looks at the baby, at Josiah, at this tiny human fighting to exist, at someone who deserves everything Rowan can give. Josiah Blackwell, Rowan says, voice rough, I like it. Elio's eyes fill, really? Really? But the paperwork's the legal. I'll handle it, adoption, name change, whatever it takes, he'll be mine, legally, permanently, if that's what you want. What about Pookie? What about him? Could he also? Yes. No hesitation. Elio stares, you'd adopt both of them. Yes. Why? Because Pookie already calls me Papa, because he trusts me, because I want to be worthy of that, want to be the father he deserves, the father Josiah deserves, the father, Rowan stops, looks at Elio, the father you deserved when someone hurt you instead. Elio breaks again. Different this time. Not pain. Relief. Hope. Belief that maybe safety is real, that maybe someone actually wants them, that maybe the walls he built to survive can finally come down. Rowan holds him. Pearl pretends not to cry. Josiah sleeps. And somewhere between heartbreak and healing, a family forms. Day 14, Josiah comes off oxygen. Day 21, feeding tube removed. Day 28, cleared for skin-to-skin contact. Elio holds his son for the first time. Cries into tiny dark curls. Rowan watches from the doorway. Something in his chest cracks open, permanent, irreversible. This is love. Not the controlled kind, not the calculated kind, the kind that destroys you and rebuilds you and makes you want to be better, makes you want to protect, want to provide, want to promise impossible things and mean them. Pearl touches his shoulder. You know you're not getting out of this, right? Out of what? Loving them, all of them, you're in too deep now. I know. Does he know? I think so. You need to tell him. Not yet, not while Josiah's still. Life doesn't wait for perfect timing. Tell him before you lose the chance. She leaves. Rowan stays. Watching Elio hold Josiah. Watching Pookie press his face against the glass. Watching his family. When did that happen? When did three strangers become the most important people in his world? He doesn't know. Doesn't care. Just accepts it. And starts planning how to keep them forever. Josiah comes home after 6 weeks. 5 pounds, healthy, perfect. The estate transforms. Nursery painted soft blue, crib custom made, monitor system installed, night nurse hired, everything ready. Everything's safe. Elio stands in the doorway, Josiah sleeping in his arms, Pookie holding his hand. This is too much, Elio whispers. It's not enough, Rowan says. I don't know how to repay. I don't want repayment, I want you here, safe, happy, that's all. Elio looks at him, for how long? How long what? How long until you get tired of us, until the newness wears off, until you realize we're just. Stop. Until you meet someone without baggage, someone who doesn't come with 2 kids and trauma and. Elio, stop. Elio's eyes fill, I'm scared. Of what? Of believing this, of trusting that you mean it, of letting myself feel safe and then losing it all over again. Rowan steps closer. What would make you believe? I don't know, time, proof, something that says this isn't temporary, that we're not just. Marry me. Silence. Complete. Suffocating. Elio stares. What? Marry me legally, permanently, make this real. You're insane. Probably. We've known each other 4 months. I know. People will say. I don't care. Your reputation means nothing if you're not here. Elio's breath shakes. Why? Because Pookie calls me Papa, because Josiah has my name, because you look at me like I'm something worth trusting, because when I think about the future, you're in it, all of you, always. That's not love, that's... What is it then? Obligation, responsibility. You feel guilty for what happened with Hale, you feel. I feel like I'm home when you're in the room. I feel like nothing else matters when Josiah cries and you comfort him. I feel like I'd burn the world down to keep Pookie smiling. I feel... Rowan stops, breathes. I feel like I've been empty my entire life and didn't know it until you filled the spaces I didn't know existed. Elio's tears fall. That's not fair. What's not fair? Saying things like that, making me hope, making me believe. That someone wants you, that someone chooses you, that someone sees you as more than broken. Yes. Good, believe it, because it's true. Elio's hands shake. Josiah stirs, settles. I'm not what you think I am, Elio whispers. I'm damaged, used, I have panic attacks. I wake up screaming, I can't. I know I've seen it, I'm still here. But what if it gets worse? What if I can't? Then we handle it together. What if I'm too broken to fix? You're not broken, you're surviving, and I'm not trying to fix you, I'm trying to love you. The word falls between them. Love. First time said out loud. Elio's breath stops. What? I love you, I love Pookie, I love Josiah, I love this insane family we're building, I love, Rowan's voice breaks, I love everything this has become, and I want it permanent, want you permanent, want all of it permanent. Elio can't speak. Can't breathe. Can't process. Pookie tugs his hand. Daddy, why are you crying? Happy tears, baby. Is Papa making you happy? Elio looks at Rowan, at this alpha who rewrote his world, who fought battles Elio didn't ask him to fight, who keeps promises even when they're impossible. Yes, Elio whispers, Papa makes me very happy. Pookie beams, good, can we have cake now? Everyone laughs. Tension breaks. Elio hands Josiah to the night nurse, kneels down, hugs Pookie tight. Go with Miss Pearl, Elio says, Papa and I need to talk. Pookie runs off. Elio stands. Faces Rowan. I'm terrified, Elio says. I know. I don't know how to do this, how to trust, how to believe someone actually wants me without. Then let me show you, every day, until you believe. What if I never believe? Then I'll keep showing you anyway. Elio's hands fist in Rowan's shirt. This is insane. I know. We barely know each other. We have time to learn. People will think. Let them think. Your empire means nothing without you. I'm nobody. You're everything. Elio breaks. Kisses him. First time. Desperate, messy, real. Rowan kisses back. Gentle, careful, like something precious, something he's been waiting for, something worth every risk. They break apart. Breathing hard. Elio's forehead rests against Rowan's. I don't have a ring to give you. I don't need one. I don't have anything to offer except you, that's all I want. Then yes. Rowan's breath stops. Yes. Yes, I'll marry you. I'll build this insane life with you. I'll let you love me even though it terrifies me. Yes. Rowan lifts him. Spins him. Elio laughs, real, bright, the sound of someone who finally believes safety might be real. They collapse together. Holding tight. Building promises. Building futures. Building family. Outside, Pookie plays in the garden. Josiah sleeps upstairs. The estate settles. And two broken people become whole together. 6 months later, small wedding, estate gardens. 12 people, close friends, staff who stayed, Pearl, Marcus, Jonathan. No press, no publicity, just vows. Rowan stands at the altar. Elio walks toward him, Pookie holding his hand, Josiah in Pearl's arms. They mate in the middle. Say words that mean forever. Kiss while everyone cries. Become legally what they've been emotionally for months. Family. That night after everyone leaves. Rowan and Elio sit on the bedroom balcony. Stars overhead, wine glasses untouched, just silence, comfortable, safe. I never thought I'd have this, Elio says. Have what? Peace, safety, someone who chooses me. You always deserved it. Maybe, but I never believed I'd find it. Do you believe it now? Elio looks at him. Yes, finally, yes. Rowan takes his hand. They sit together, watching stars, building forever. And somewhere in the house, Pookie sleeps peacefully. Josiah breathes steady. The estate settles into night. And everything that was broken becomes whole. 2 years later. Pookie's 5, starting kindergarten, backpack too big, smile too bright. Josiah's 2, walking, talking, calling Rowan Papa without hesitation. Elio's 30, healthy, happy, running the estate's charitable foundation, helping other Omegas escape dangerous situations. Building safety for people who need it. Rowan's 42, still running his empire, still ruthless in business, still soft at home. Still in love. They sit at breakfast, all 4 of them, pancakes, strawberries, chaos. Josiah throws food. Pookie tells elaborate stories about imaginary friends. Elio laughs. Rowan watches. This is everything. Not the money, not the estate, not the power. This. Family, noise, love. Papa, Pookie asks, can I tell you something? Always. I'm glad you were sleeping that night. What night? The night I tucked you in, the night you looked lonely. I'm glad I found you. Rowan's throat closes. Elio reaches for his hand. I'm glad you found me too, Rowan says, voice thick. Are you still lonely? No, never again. Good, Pookie goes back to his pancakes, because we're your family now, forever. Forever? The word settles. Real, permanent. Rowan looks around the table. At Elio, at Pookie, at Josiah. At the family he never knew he needed. The family that saved him. The family that taught him one simple truth: power doesn't reveal itself when people fear you. It reveals itself when a child trusts you enough to tuck you in. When an Omega trusts you enough to believe safety is real. When love becomes the most important thing you'll ever protect. Most people will never know this story existed. Will never know that an alpha billionaire fell in love with a pregnant Omega and his son. Will never know that sometimes the strongest families are the ones built from broken pieces. Will never know that trust can heal what trauma destroyed. And that's exactly why it works. Because the best love stories aren't the ones everyone sees. They're the ones that happen quietly. In estates overlooking gardens. In NICU rooms at midnight. In moments when broken people choose each other. And build something unbreakable together. 10 years later. Pookie's 15, already talking about college. Josiah's 12, playing soccer, thriving. Elio's 40, still beautiful, still strong, still the center of everything. Rowan's 52, grey at the temples, lines around his eyes from smiling, wealthy beyond measure but caring about none of it. Because wealth isn't money. It's the teenager who still hugs him goodnight. It's the 12-year-old who asks him to coach soccer. It's the Omega who kisses him every morning like they're still newlyweds. It's the family they built. The family that started with a test. With an alpha pretending to sleep. with a child brave enough to trust, with an Omega desperate enough to hope. And it became everything. Everything that matters. Everything worth protecting. Everything that proves one simple truth. Real strength isn't controlling everything. It's letting the right people in. And trusting they won't break what you've built. They'll make it stronger. It's forever. If you enjoyed this story of hope, protection, and family, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our next story. These tales inspire us to believe in second chances, to trust again, and to remember that the family we choose can heal the wounds of the past. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might inspire someone else who needs to hear that safety and love are possible. Thank you for being part of this community. Until next time, remember, you deserve to be chosen, protected, and loved. Always.